Okay. It's time for a story.
Story time.
Long time ago, when Blackwings were the best deck and I was in college, there was a little deck called Lightsworn, a set called Light of Destruction, which came out with a card called Honest. Blackwings came out a few sets later, and a lot of my college friends at the time and I pondered what a dark equivalent of Honest would look like. We figured it would probably be, same sort of stats as Honest, except it's a dark instead of a light. And it would have a benefit when a dark monster was attacking or being attacked. We also predicted that instead of increasing your monster's attack like Honest would, it would decrease the opponent's monster's attack instead. We jokingly called this card Dishonest. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Should be called Lair.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into Team Forbidden's YouTube page. It is I, Seto Sama the Fanatic, showcasing a deck post Lightning Overdrive. I do have to give a shout out to a Yugi tuber named Candy-chan, because without this person's video, I might not have been sharing this deck with you today. I made a couple of changes from his/her formula to basically get some other stuff into my playstyle. She was running the Extravagance, I'm running the Prosperity. Let's hope this is the version that will finally make this deck click for me. Lair of Darkness with Dark Honest. Let's go! So, of course, for a Lair of Darkness deck, you gotta run 2 Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair. I mean, what can be said about this guy that has... You've seen him in my Blue Eyes profiles tons of times. 3,000 body, 2,000 defense, special summon itself to your field when a monster is tributed, excluding himself. You run 2 because, DD Crow is a thing, so it's called at the grave. And you can also, if you have 2 of them, you can loop the 2 of them by robbing your opponent out of cards in their hands once per turn. 3 Lilith, Lady of Lament. I mean, she can be summoned and she gets 1,000 attack instead. Then you can tribute a monster, show your opponent 3 trap cards from your deck. They randomly select one, it gets sent to the field, the other ones go back into the deck. 3 Arma, the Wicked Warden. Why this card is getting reprinted when the Slifer the Sky Dragon God deck, I have absolutely no clue. But he's basically your Lair of Darkness searcher. You can also just summon him, tribute a dark monster, and search for Darkest Diablos.
He's a good boy.
He is a very good boy. Next, we're also running Malice, Lady of Lament. This is one of my changes from Candy-chan's profile that I saw. We'll see if we can link the video down below. She's not related to us in any way, shape, or form, or affiliated us with any way. But Malice, Lady of Lament is you tribute 2 monsters and take one of your trap cards that is either banished or in your graveyard and set it directly to your field. It's a once per turn effect, and you'll see what we have that actually synergizes just in case the traps are banished later. It has been a long time coming since I've played this guy. This has been a long time coming. This was my favorite card back in the day. Yeah, you could argue it's not good now, but if you literally resolve this card and you basically win. 5,000 life points? Who cares? I'm summoning a first Dark Lord, or I'm summoning a Naturia X Trio, or I'm summoning a Last Warrior from another planet.
Or getting impermed.
That's if it doesn't get impermed. So, this card was one of my favorites back in the day, and fun note, literally the only reason it's getting privated in the next tournament pack is to prevent it from being used with the Cyber Dark card, Cyber Dark Horizon, because this card's name is not Cyberstein in Japan, it's called Devil Franken.
Cyberstein.
Okay, Frodrick. Next, 3 Dark Honest. You saw the intro. I'm not going into this card. He's honest for darks, decreases the attack instead of, he's Dark Honest. He's a fairy. That's why we have first Dark Lord in the extra deck, aside from the fact that he's a a really good untargetable 4,000 beater. And then to round it off, these probably should be Drolls, but I don't have any other Drolls right now, so it's 3 Ash. I mean, it's Ash Blossom. Do I really have to explain the Demon Child? No, I do not. On to the spells. Spell lineup is actually really short for this deck, I'll be quite honest. 3 Pot of Prosperity. You probably be like, okay, so what do you Prosperity in this deck? I mean, your extra deck, you'll see, quick preview, is pretty much mostly Super Poly and Wake of the Dragon targets. So you just banish whichever ones you don't think you're going to need for that scenario. Speaking of Super Poly, the Golden Boy himself. And 3 Lair of Darkness basically means, Super Poly? Oh, here's a free Starving Venom. Let's go. And then the 4th copy of the Lair of Darkness. Terraforming. This could easily be, I don't know, Harpy's Faster or Call of the Grave. I'm running those in the side deck right now, but you need to make sure that you get to your Lair as fast as possible to start tripping your opponent's monsters for yourself. That's it for the spells. Into the traps. Yeah, we're running Lilith, so there's quite a few of these. First off, 3 Trap Trick. It's literally 3 extra copies of any trap card you want in your deck. Literally with Lilith, if you want to set one of your trap cards that are 2 copies, like my Waking the Dragon or my Virus card we'll get to in a bit, you just banish the other copy, or you just reveal those 2 copies and Trap Trick, and then just set, whichever one you hit, you win. So 3 Ice Dragon's Prison as well, because this card is phenomenally good. 3 Infinite Impermanence, because it's Infinite Impermanence, so why not? 2 Full Force Virus. I'll be honest, this should probably be either Deck Destruction Virus or Erratic Epicator, Darkness and Magic, whatever. But I'd argue that Eradicator is not that good right now, because literally the only back row deck is, aside from if Altergeist let you get it off, is friggin' Eldritch. And Eldritch is like, okay, you're going to send my stuff to the graveyard? I don't care!
Big plus on it either way.
Yeah, exactly. And then 2 Waking the Dragons. So you can just set Trap Trick and get your stuff set up. If they try to Harpy's Feather Duster you or Lightning Storm you, Trap Trick, banish Waking the Dragon. Sup. Or sup. Or sup. Or what's good? Yeah, I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself here. And of course, 1 Metaverse, because again, you need the field spell you need the field spell to win. So any way you can access it is preferable. All right. So we've already showed a sneak preview of the extra deck, so we might as well just get into my choices. First, Dark Lord. Lucifer himself. You can either summon this off of Cyberstein or the Waking the Dragon. If it's off Waking the Dragon, you'll have a non-targetable boss monster that can bring your Dark Honest back, and then you just put Dark Honest back into your hand, attack with it, and they're taking 4k right to the face. Naturia Extrio, it's Barky and Beast fused together. You activate this against any deck that relies on spells and trap cards, they're never going to play. They're not going to be able to play at all. Last Warrior from Another Planet. Certain decks, they don't have an out to it, you win. Okay, Starving that Infusion Dragon. This is your main Super Poly target in here. Arguably, I should be running more than 1, maybe 2, but I felt like having more options for Super Poly targets and potential link climbing was a little more beneficial overall. 1 Earth Golem at Ignister for any of those Cybers decks that are plaguing you. I'm opting to run Predaplant Chimeraphlasia over the other Predaplant one, mostly because this isn't out to Verite Dragoon, which, Dragoon, please go soon next ban list. I'm tired of you. Get out of the game. But basically this one's here is it's a Super Poly target, plus if it goes to the graveyard, you just search Super Poly. It's a win-win in my opinion. Speaking of Eldritch, Mad Lord for that deck, and for Dogmatica Invoked, arguably you should have either Construct or Winda in here For the Dogmatica matchup, again, I didn't really have room, and I felt like this was probably the biggest one, because I'm not too concerned about Winda or the Shadals, apart from, you know, if they try to schism my crap away, but that's about it. I figured the Macabre was a little bit more of a threat, so Elysium. So you get rid of the invoked monster, and then any other monster they have special summon for the extra deck. Again, win-win. Crystal Wing Stinker Dragon, basically there for... I was just thinking of waking the dragon targets that can just be potentially really problematic for my opponent to deal with. Obligatory Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon. This guy you can either link climb into, or you can, just summon it off Awaken the Dragon, summon anything to its zone, and then just banish everything on the field. That includes the tokens that you summon off of Lair of Darkness, by the way. So, then the Obligatory Unicorn and IP. One, not the problem card. Please don't ban this one. This is not the correct choice. Easy access to fusion spells is always good, considering that's the mechanic that has arguably aged the worst, because you need like a whole crap ton of searches to get your polys and all that good stuff. And then one Salamangreat Almirage. This is here specifically for Cyberstein. Now, I am going to point out the ones that I feel are mandatory that need to be in there are these 5. This is a 6th if you're running Cyberstein. These 5 I feel are mandatory. You have to run these. And if you're running Stein, you have to run that. Also, the Lair Darkness, if you tribute, you get Diablos back. So there's that too. Alright. Into the side deck. To start off the side deck, and I'm going to just say the side deck is a little bit of a work in progress. But I think this is about as good as it can get right now, depending on how the meta shapes out. 3 Fantastical Dragon Phantasmes. Obviously, this is probably going to come out if Dragon Lynx finally gets axed on the next ban list. 3 Ghost Bell. This is both an offensive and a defensive card. For if you know your opponent deciding, I don't know, maybe Call by the Graves or DD Crows, to get your Diablos out of there. Just put that in and just stop it. And it also stops graveyard effects. So, hi, Drytrons. 1 Feather Duster, because I didn't put it in the main deck, so it's in the side deck. I think this is the best back row removal right now that's not named Harpy's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm. Mostly because, it's the Eldritch. You just banish them so they can't get their pluses off in the graveyard. And a Call by the Grave, because we didn't put it in the main deck, so it's in the side deck. To help against the Dogmatica Invoked matchup, it's a trap deck, so Dimensional Bearer. Whatever, it helps against the Zoo matchup too. They summon the Zoo? Okay, Xyz. Have fun. My turn? And because we really don't have too much else against back rows, we got the red reboot as well. Other stuff that you could throw in, I'm just going to throw it out there. You could potentially use Torrential Tribute. That's something I wanted to put in here, but didn't have room. Other stuff I wanted to put in, didn't have room. I'm thinking Nibiru. And again, Droll and Logbird should arguably be the Ash, because that's arguably better right now with the current state of things. But anyways, guys, that's the updated Lair of Darkness build with Dark Honest. As you can see, I unfortunately do not have a PAL manga mat yet. Sponsorship win for me, but it's okay. I'm not petty. Use the promo code Forbidden10 and get your own super special mat. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down below for notifications. Stay cool on the shady side.